Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
See me, isn't it? When I look like this? No. Yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Syama. I think we should first do kirtan a little bit so that everyone comes into the Zoom room and joins us. And then I will request you to introduce our evening program. Yes?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Sounds wonderful.
Okay. I'm thinking. One moment. Yes. So Hare Krishna, I would like to welcome all of you, both here in the temple room as well as the online audience. I think we all are very, very inspired or very hopeful that something inspiring, encouraging will come out of this disciple meeting. Hare Krishna, welcome. So now I thought let us first do a little kirtan so that all of us can start to assemble and join us. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Askatyade Sadharine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, everybody, one more time, please. One more time, please. Thank you so much. So, here, I would like to welcome all of you affectionately to this disciple meeting. It is a great pleasure that we can have this by the help of a few little friends in front of us, these photo cameras, and you should see, maybe we shall show how it looks behind the scene. Maybe not touch at this moment the photo cameras, but we have a whole little studio here. But we are very happy also to have a few devotees live, so that there is that we are not condemned to be imprisoned by the technology. Hare Krishna. Today I would like to speak about an aspect of our transcendental relationship. But first, we have our talented master of ceremonies from the Lake of Michigan.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome back for our disciples meeting. We have now heard in two wonderful lectures very deep insights about how to attain the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And tonight we will have our disciples meeting, followed by a question and answer session. Again, you can send me your questions and answers. After that, we will invite everyone to please turn on their cameras so Guru Maharaj can greet everyone. We can all be together. But that is not the end of the program. Please stay after you turn on your cameras, because we have a surprise for you. And we will also have the Aviva ceremony of Lord Nityananda after that. So please stay. So now we turn to the Guru-disciple relationship. And it is appropriate right now to remember one thing Guru Maharaj said in his first lecture. He said, the Guru is more than what we see. He carries a truth with him that can enlighten us. I'll repeat that. He said, the Guru is more than what we see. He carries a truth with him that can enlighten us. So with this in mind and with immense gratitude and affection, we invite Guru Maharaj to please deliver his address to us. And for questions and answers, please message your questions privately.
We understood the idea. I hope on the online you could hear Harishyam very clearly. Here in the temple room, we had our imaginative abilities and intuition fully switched on. My dear devotees, my dear disciples, I was inspired to research or look into the subject matter when I met an older devotee who told me something that made me think very deeply. He said, Sachinandan Swami, I have never learned to make good decisions. I was shocked. I said, what makes you think like this, or what makes you say this? And he said, see, we live in a spiritual culture where the authority of the Guru is so much stressed. Furthermore, the authority of the scriptures is so much stressed there, or given emphasis. Also, as I live in the society of devotees, there are certain norms which are emphasized via tilak, via cloth, wear certain dress. If you don't wear the traditional dress, no problem, but it should be a decent dress. I'm surrounded with others who make decisions for me. Ultimately, even Krishna seems to make decisions for us because he gives us the ability to remember and to forget. I have therefore been surrounded all my life with authority, which I felt made decisions for me. And now in my mature age, I must say I do make decisions, but I have not learned to make wise and deep decisions. I said, wow, I understood Krishna consciousness totally different from you. And I quoted a verse from the Bhagavad Gita to the devotee, which I would like to quote for you also. The end of the Gita, Krishna speaks to Arjuna about making decisions, making his own decisions. He says, Iti te jnanam akyatam guyat guyataram maya vimshri yaitat asheshena yatechasi tatakuru. This I know by heart. Yatechasi yatakuru. He says, Arjuna, I have explained to you the knowledge that is still more confidential. Now please deliberate on this fully. It means think about everything and then do what you wish to do. Make your decision. This was my answer to the devotee, but I kept on thinking afterwards, yes, the authority of the spiritual master is really given a lot of emphasis. Yes, the Shastras. Yes, all the devotees. Yes, tradition is really emphasized and valued strongly on this path of Krishna consciousness. Are we, with all these, are we free to make our own choices? This is today my subject matter, and I believe that understanding this in depth, and you will obviously have to think on your own about it a little bit, maybe discuss with friends about what you hear. It will take a lot of pressure out of the guru-disciple meeting and will instill or give a lot of relieving freedom and something which we call in German language Eigenständigkeit. It means something like self-reliance. Now, first of all, let us start by a general observation. Your life or our life is shaped by the decision which we make. There is a poet, Robert Frost. His parents wanted him to be something like a farmer and so on, who would produce wheat and everything what grows on farms. But he became a poet, which they really didn't like. So he wrote a poem by which at least I got to know him. Here it is one of his most famous pieces, and he addresses this point of making decisions in a poetic way. So you will have to think a little poetically for a moment. He says, the road not taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. You know, diverged means one goes left, one goes right. And sorry, I could not travel both. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back to this place where I could make a decision where I would go. I shall be telling you this with a sigh. Sigh heißt Seufzer. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood. And I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. I admit that as someone who has English as his second language, when I first read this, I didn't catch all the subtleties. So let me help you, because I've read it many times. I've thought about it many times. So he comes in the forest to a place where he has to make a choice. Will he go left or right? He can't go left and right, because the moment he takes a choice, there will be another path coming from that path. And then there will be another path. And from there, another path will go. In other words, once you go in one direction, many things will happen that will make you continue in some ways. So he was thinking, should I go the road where everyone goes? You know, that it was the road which was more free. Or should I take the other road which is overgrown by grass and so much, maybe some trees have fallen over it. And so he, after thinking, he decides, let me go the road less traveled by. That is the more difficult road. And he says, that has made all the difference in my life. I am now what I am because I did it. Maybe he thought of the confrontational talk when his parents and maybe his village, who were all farmers, got together and heavily told him, you must become a farmer, someone who pushes a pencil over paper. So many people do this. I do it in my free time also, but to live from this, forget it. But he took, nevertheless, the road less traveled by. In our life, we will have to make decisions. In fact, our life is shaped by decisions. If we do not dare to make decisions, we will stay more or less where we are. And if we make our decisions based on what others recommend us, based on what the group finds at the moment chic and good, we will regret it in the time to come, because we have not taken our authentic path. We have ended somewhere in the middle field, where we could not live everything which is in us, where we could not express all the love which is there in our heart, where we did not dare to take the stand which we felt was necessary to take at a certain time. And you know what will happen? We will find fault, not with us, but we will say, who made me compromise? My guru. The scripture. The culture of Krishna consciousness. And we live a bitter life. Krishna doesn't want Arjuna to end here. And he says, yes, I told you the entire Bhagavad Gita. I have answered the questions which you have posed to me. But now I wish you, I want you, I request you, please act upon what you feel is best. Amazing. And amazing that this is was not understood by the older devotee who told me, I have not learned to make decisions, wise decisions in my life. When I make a decision which maybe others don't validate or approve, I can't do it. I can't do it. I live on the validation of others. I live on the bread which they give me. Here, we like you. This is your thing. Good. So, how then, let me see, how do we make confident decisions where we are confident zuversichtlich, ne? Let me go here to the Bhagavatam, and then I will go into a little bit some details. You can make decisions when you are growing up in a culture of freedom. It has been seen that children who have always been told, do this, do this, do this, do this, when they are older and there is no one, they can't, well, should I do this or should I do that? They can't make quick decisions or wise decisions. Sometimes they are unable. Whereas it is seen that children who have grown up in a more freer environment, they are more able to say, okay, we've learned this. If I do this, this will be the reaction. If I do that, that will be the reaction. Let me wait. What reaction is more pleasant for me, what I want, and so on. So, to help you make spiritual decisions, it's good if you increase your spiritual culture. This is told by, in the fourth canto, by Sanaka. Sanatan, one of the four Kumaras, he says, Hare muhustat parakana pura guna vidanena vijim banayana bhaktyasya sangha sadasatyanatmani syani gune brahmani chanya sarati. The devotee should gradually increase the culture of devotional service by constant hearing of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus he can be fixed in transcendence in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by increasing the culture of devotional life, he can become more fixed. No? And Prabhupada comments, the more we hear from realized souls, the more we make advancement in our devotional life. And the more we advance in devotional life, the more we become detached from the material world. The more we become detached from the material world, as advised by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the more we increase in attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear devotees, when you are attached to Krishna, when you really love Krishna, you will make wise decisions that bring you closer to Krishna. I'm speaking of the decision-making process, obviously, in a relationship to spiritual life, because I think there is only spiritual life. Life without the spirit is not existing. The soul, the self, enters the body, and that's when it's alive. When it leaves the body, it becomes dead. So our decision should be made on the basis of the reality of our life, not about on illusions. That will will make us even more frustrated and dissatisfied in our lives. So you become self-motivated, you become self-reliant, you become confident in spiritual life. If you hear, because by hearing about Krishna, you make advancement, you purify your heart, you become more light, you become detached from the things which impede or hamper your spiritual advancement. And then you do things out of love. Someone who loves doesn't need to be told what he needs to do. He knows from inside. Love tells him what he needs to know, and he never makes a mistake. When you act on the platform of loving Krishna, you cannot make a mistake. I'm smiling at all of you in the behind the cameras, and then I'm looking now in the temple, and I'm smiling at all of you in the temple. Yes, yes. If you live in a culture of Netflix, you will make Netflix-based decisions like the heroes and heroines there. If you live in a culture of hearing about Krishna, wow, you make spiritual decisions. I have read a book called You Are the Placebo. Half I have read. Then I was not able to continue because I got the idea. And there it is said that on the basis of neuroscience, that it is sometimes very difficult for people to make new decisions in their life. They always continue to act out of habit. But it is said if they begin to cultivate new thoughts, thinking in new ways, then they can make new decisions, and according to the decisions, their lives will change, and according to that, they will create a new and better version of themselves. It starts here. By the way, illness also starts here, then goes to the heart, and then it goes to the body. When you learn to think positive spiritual thoughts, my dear devotees, do you know that these strong thoughts will create strong biochemicals in your body, which will create a strong body and mind? If you, on the other hand, have weak thoughts, you will create weak biochemicals, which creates a weak mind and a weak body. Yes, it's so important to have new thoughts, and even more important than physical health, new thoughts bring you can bring you your spiritual health, because new thoughts will help you to make new decisions, and new decisions will help you to make new actions, and new actions will help you to arrive at a new life. This is the simple truth about this decision making. It starts by thinking, and the thinking is very much influenced by hearing. Especially in the spiritual culture, the power of sound vibration is so much emphasized that when we hear spiritually empowering sound vibration, empowering lectures, kirtans which make our let me say hearts go tender, and what was it? Yes, and hear knowledge that makes our soul rise above its entanglements. Then, wow, we are able to create a better me. Now, the question I would like to ask: we hear that in the beginning of our spiritual journey, we are still very young, And we are therefore quite happy when authority figures help us to make decisions. We are happy when we go to an older devotee who, because of his wisdom, his insights, his superior knowledge, can give us good advices, and we leave his room and say, "Ha, that was good, now I know what to do." Authority is not bad. It has its very, very important place in our spiritual growth. We are happy when we read in the morning the Bhagavatam, and wow, this purity, these deeper insights, these amazing examples of devotees who have reached perfection inspires us. We are happy, and so on. However, there is some point where the authority oversteps its competency, its role in our life. It is when we start to grow up, when we have our realizations, when we have our breakthrough experiences that tell us this is true, and when we have made such mistakes. It's also important to make mistakes, but we see, I don't go this way any longer. The more we grow up in spiritual life, the more our mind grows and fills with knowledge and experience. This has to also be valued. Krishna gives you knowledge and experiences that have an authority value. They come from Krishna. The Guru hopefully has been able to help you to see something. So now you can see on your own. If we don't learn at that time to become self-determined and make our own decisions, we will always be feeling we are not living our own life. The life not lived, we feel. It's a psychological expression, by the way, the unlived life. No? Therefore, spiritual masters are very, 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 let me say, much encouraged to look at that point when there is something real in their disciples, and then let them fly. I had a discussion with His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj about this, who has a few very, very talented disciples. And he said, there comes a time, Satchidananda Swami, when all these talented disciples which I have were no longer satisfied to do their services in the temple. And I had to learn that they were yearning for the unlived life. I remember myself, there was one devotee in London called, his name is Ghanshyam Priya. He tried to continue as the president of the Pandava Senas and being in charge of the university program, but he was always sick and no one could help cure him. He tried everything, allopathy, Ayurvedic, everything. But do you know what was wrong? He needed to make videos. When that was seen, he started to make videos, and now he is Mr. Jai Shetty. He's called an influencer. He influences the society. No? But he could not do what he was doing. He could not continue. He needed to do things on his own. And he said, I don't know my way, but let me make videos. Hey, I'm here. My name is Jay. Think about life. And he put this on the internet. And I mean, he said also what to think about. And then people liked it, like, and now 50 million likes, because he was, and he couldn't go on like this. So there are other devotees. I have also disciples where I noticed, they want to fly. And if I keep them now, then I will break something in them. I will break their trust in me, and I will also break our. I will not be able and they will not be able to grow. I have seen this with students who all of a sudden started to also desire things which were outside of what we teach in ISKCON usually, and it was just different terms, ways, and I said, I don't know. I trust these people. Let them do. They will go, and they were going, and in all the cases which I know of, maybe I don't know all the cases, they have all returned to following this thing which I can teach, the value of the holy name in one's life. No, it's and so on. It's important to have authority, and even when you fly on your own, so to say, it's important to have people you trust, with whom you can consult, who can give you feedback, who can say, maybe, see, this is what I have seen, maybe this will help you also. But it is very, very important to make one's own decision. See, there are two roles in learning or learning, yes. One is the student-centered way, the other is the teacher-centered way. Would you like to hear a little bit more deeply what this means? Student-centered way means the impetus for learning comes from the student himself. He wants to learn, he wants to understand. Teacher-centered way, which is more traditional, is the impetus for learning comes from the teacher. The teacher says, you have to make your homework. This is what you have to learn. And I will give you a test. And if you don't know it, you have to repeat the class. The student-centered way, which is more progressive, means the individual is, and especially his free choice, is most important. The traditional approach, this teacher-centered way, is that the tradition the respect for the tradition is most important. This is what all the gurus said before. This is what the spiritual culture said before. A progressive student-centered education stresses the importance of personal freedom and individual relationships. The more traditional and teacher-centered learning stresses the importance of respect for the authority and also the tradition in which it is. So in this way you can see, what is the Krishna conscious way? Is it student-centered or is it teacher-centered? Is it both? I have thought deeply about it, and I will not take questions at this moment because I don't think you will, many of you will come to the conclusion. It is Krishna-centered. Oh, Krishna consciousness movement. Yes, we are conscious about Krishna. But the question is, how can I please Krishna? How can I come closer to Krishna? how can I as an individual express my devotion to Krishna? So it is Krishna-centered, but because God or Krishna believes in freedom, because any tradition you ask will tell you this. God never forces the individual. Have you ever heard of a God who enforces things? Maybe in the Bogomils? Any bona fide spiritual tradition knows that. You can sit down with any person who knows a little bit. God does not force the individual. We hear this in a loving, endearing discussion where the Lord speaks to Gop Kumar, who has just returned and come back to him. He said, the Lord says, I saw you, I watched you, but I also noticed you did not make any step on your own to me, and I was so sad. I could not break my own rules, and that is that I could not force you or manipulate you or twist you in one direction. This I never do. But when I saw that you didn't even look in my direction, then I came as your spiritual master Jayanta, and I talked to you. This is spiritual knowledge. Now make your decision. And you made the decision. You came to me. I looked down the path. When will he come? Hope made me dance like a fool, but finally you came. And now please stay here. Enjoy. This kingdom of God is for you. Enjoy, stay, and please don't go. This is the Lord. This is Krishna. He gives freedom. He does not give Zwang or Stress. You know, what is it called? Force, and so on. So, yes, are we Krishna? Are we student-centered? Are we teacher-centered? No, we are Krishna-centered. And from Krishna's perspective, there is a place for the teacher who gives us Sambandha knowledge and who says, this is a process, this you can do, this is this, and so on. And then he says, please now do this process, Abhideya, no? Do it, and then it becomes, and in this way, it is student-centered and teacher-centered. Krishna somehow brings everything together always, because he's transcendental to yes or no, and one or the other. Good. I would like to give you an example how knowledge which you receive is important to act on the spiritual platform, but how it is also important that you are able to act very, very on your own. When you go on a hike, do you know what a hike is? So ein längerer, ausgedehnter Waldspaziergang könnte man zum Beispiel sagen. Das ist ein Hike, eine Art zu hiken. Also wenn man so hiked einfach. If you go on a hike, you have heard about the paths. No? But when you are walking, you cannot blindfold yourself and phone and have the phone give you directions, levo, desno, left, right. You are there in the forest. You are walking. You see the path. You see where there is water on the path, especially if you walk here. there are often little rivers coming over the path, which are not on your Google map, and so on. And you have to see which path work, and that you don't get wet. Learning, but then going on your own is important. Prabhupada thought this is such an important point that he gave a few times an example that when the pilot is on the ground, he learns, but when he flies, he has to follow his own intuitions and his own knowledge. I think you have heard it. I want to now deepen this a little bit. I have taken some of the ideas which I presented today in one of the parts from Mangala, and I will show you something which she designed on the flip chart. Now, wow, my God, is this good? Can the online devotees see it?
Yes.
Yeah. See, here you find a graph. The question is, who gives you permission to do something, to make this decision? You find your inner world. This is with the blue, the yellow color. And if you go down to the graph, you see someone else, the group, the authorities, the scriptures. So let us start from down to up. Someone else tells you what to do. Well, this is from a seminar she did. I think in Krishna consciousness, no one sells you a decision. Let's jump over this. Someone else asks and decides for you. Do you do this now? You do that now. You discuss with others and you agree together, okay, this is the common consensus, I will also do. You ask for advice, you seek support, and in this way, your own decision-making becomes narrower and narrower and less, okay? You don't give yourself permission. The other way, from up, is you lead your life according to the things which you have learned in your life. You may at times inform someone, you seek support, you ask for advice, and so on. You do all this, but the major part, the place from where you come, the biggest thing is your inner world. You act from there. Whereas in the second, in the example which we used first, the main place of a person who is green here, on the green thing, is someone else makes the decision. See that broad thing there? The group makes the decisions, the authority make the decision. Such a person will be frustrated in his life. Because he has not lived his own life. He has lived the life of someone else. I always say, if my dhoti is dirty, and I wash Govinda's dhoti, then his dhoti is clean, but my dhoti remains dirty. I have to wash my own dhoti to have a clean dhoti. In the same way, you have to live your own life to be purified in your heart. This is the idea of this graph. I just wanted to, or graphicon, I just wanted to see it. I will leave you now with a thought. What do you feel you need in your life to make wise decisions on your own in Krishna consciousness? Decisions that bring you closer to Krishna, decisions that are helping you in your spiritual life. What do you feel you need? You need to think now. This lecture wouldn't be complete without making you think. What, Nandimukhi, or Professor Chevalier, what do you think would help you to make your own very powerful, it doesn't need to be very powerful, but encouraging, strengthening decisions? Don't answer because you need to discuss this amongst yourself. When I asked myself the question, what do I need to make now a few decisions that will bring my life so much forward, I'm thinking, well, I need more clarity on a few things. I need to discuss with a few people and then decide if I will, how much I will give myself into the projects which I do with the people together. So I need more clarity. A decision an answer which I always find is I need to make my head a little clear. What do I need to make decisions that are very powerful spiritually? I always think I need to be connected with my spiritual master. This is what I think. I need to be connected with Prabhupada. Let me do this. Or, I think I need some support. I need some good people around me whom I know and who know me, with whom I can discuss things. Yes, I do have a very good friend here and a very good friend there. To make good decisions, I also need to sleep over some things and let it grow inside the heart. What do you need to make the decisions that empower you and help you to move forward? This is a question. Maybe you need Krishna, or more of an experience of Krishna. Maybe you need to go on pilgrimage, to go in this is how in old times people would make decisions. They would go to a holy place and let the holy atmosphere work in them. And then they would be able to make a decision. Maybe you need a discussion with your spiritual master. Things you have to, I'm asking you, I'm just giving suggestions so that you can think what strengthens the culture, your culture in which you can make decisions. Think of it like a flower pot. When the culture, when we say Kultur, the Bodenkultur, the earth culture, is good, then the flower can grow very nicely. There need to be nice minerals, there need to be nice, maybe a drop of Ganga water, nice music around the flower pot, good air, enough sun, and then the flower can grow like anything. Decisions take place in a culture. Some take place, unfortunately, in a weak culture, weak thoughts, or just bound thoughts, where someone is not free, where he's just so attached to one point of view that he cannot see the beauty of other points of views. No? Good decisions need a good culture, and to strengthen this, I think the guru-disciple relationship is meant for that, to supply a culture for the individual, knowledge, encouragement, love even, inspiration, so that the individual devotee can grow very nicely and not stay stagnant where he or she is. Good. Now I will look at the time. Let me just see. I don't have at the moment. I forgot the.
Actually, half an hour more would be before we go to the question. But maybe a little break could also be put in between.
Maybe we do a little break. I thought also of 10 minutes. You can think in the break. Don't just talk Prajalpa. There's, by the way, a good app now, Prajalpa Couch, available. Yes, ISKCON is everything. Try to remain in the space. And I said it sarcastically. I didn't say it that we should download necessary. I don't even know if there is such a. I'm thinking in ISKCON there is Prajalpa going on. I don't know of any specific recommendation where to. So think a little bit about it. Then we will come back again in 10 minutes, right? And then we will sing, and then we will have hopefully a good question and answer session. I wanted to again summarize my points, because sometimes I'm not so good. I get lost in so many roads and it's not clear. Making one's own decision is important for our life. In the beginning we learn a lot from authorities, but then it is expected that we use the knowledge and fly on our own, because otherwise the knowledge will never come alive in our heart. It will be always theoretical and not practical knowledge. Then the last point was, I feel for decision making, like anything else in life, a good culture is necessary. That is a culture which supplies us with items that strengthen us to make wise decisions that help us on our progress, the progress of the self back to Krishna. These are the simple points, but I talked about many other side points, but just for clarity. So see you in 10 minutes. Please come back or stay. Or should we do kirtan? Yes, we will do kirtan now, 10 minutes, and those who need to visit bathrooms or do different things, please come. Schön, dass ihr es geschafft habt. Ja, ich habe schon Angst gehabt, weil es war ein bisschen auf der Kippe, habe ich gehört, mit der Gesundheit. What melody? Something new, maybe? Yeah? Those who are in the temple room, it's nice if we sing in the temple room, and we talk maybe outside if we want to talk or need to talk or so on. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare My dear devotees, I want to tell you a little secret which I'm applying. Like now I have given a lecture which I thought had some important points. So my attention is still in the head with the points. And it's not easy in such a heady way to chant now totally. So what I do is two things. I first connect with every syllable in the mantra. I just, when it's Hari, I only think of Hari. And then I bring my attention from the head into the heart. It is something almost mechanically. I'm going down. And then from there, I've forgotten about the head. And I'm really only with the sound vibration. And that is a very wonderful experience. So I request you to try to do this. We will really sing now from the heart, and we will focus on each syllable, and you will see miracles exist. Please sing now and a little loud. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, every syllable, every name. One more time, please, everybody, and go to your heart now. Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, everybody please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare So, Hare Krishna. Now I'm very eager to hear your questions. I do think that what I said was very important. I have tried for simplicity. I like to express things as simple as I can. And I'm sure that a lot of things can be looked by us. We can look at this together. And in this forum, obviously, I will ask for questions and so on. Once on one Vyasa puja, I split the group of disciples. There were many at that time. There was a different situation than now. And said, now please think about it. But I understood they wanted to hear from me. That's why they celebrated. So it didn't go so well. So I will go really here to the old format of question and answers. Let me now see if Hari Syam has any questions. I mean, if any questions have come to you. I'm sorry, when I look at you, I should look into the camera. It is not there. But I will also take questions from devotees who are in the room. I would prefer if they are if the devotees have if they're put by my disciples, so that we have this opportunity to discuss this. So let us first ask Harisyam and everyone out there. It's so different than you think. I see Harisyam there, but I have to look where I don't see him. This is, by the way, often there in Krishna consciousness. You think the solution is there, but it is somewhere else. So, Harisyam, are there any questions with you?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, we have several questions online. And our first question is from Bhakta Pratik.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your divine feet. Thank you so much, first of all, for today's class. I wanted to ask this question. When we are we often get to take decisions when we are in middle of confusion, and when we try to hear from devotees, we often get more confused because of because like we see in Shastra that there is confirmation to various things, and in opposition to that there is also confirmation to other things like paradox. There are, so my question was that when we ask devotees or when we hear from them, according their answer or reply according to their moods and their understanding of Krishna conscious philosophy, which is sometimes conflicting, and also sometimes what they are advising or suggesting us is conflicting with what we understand from Krishna consciousness. So how do we resolve this and take a step towards Krishna in a way that we can go towards him faster? Because what I've seen is that either way, whichever decision which we take in, if we want to be Krishna conscious, Krishna helps us, but sometimes material conditions put an impediment. So how do we resolve conflicting understandings of Krishna consciousness and take decision in our spiritual life?
At the beginning of his spiritual life, where he requires the authorities to tell him clearly what to do. The disciple meeting was on a different point, but I will nevertheless try to answer this question. When there are conflicting statements, also sometimes paradoxical statements in the scripture, it obviously requires the light of clarity. There's confusion, there's haziness, and it is usually said it is dangerous to act when you are confused. At that time, I would see that you come to a clear understanding, and then only act. This is a very simple answer. I know. See, what we think is paradoxical is maybe only different perspectives on the same truth. You cannot explain everything, especially not spiritual things, with only this is right and A is right and B is wrong. It's not that simple. And therefore there are various perspectives, and you have to allow them to exist simultaneously. But when it comes to acting, you need, of course, to follow one path. If you can't just jump all the time from things. I would like to give a little example now. I would like to return and take this question as an opportunity to make my point a little bit clear. Sometimes to make a decision, you do need to do sometimes this and sometimes that, because the circumstances have changed. I'm reminded of what Bhujan Prabhu told about. He was once on a walk with Srila Prabhupada, and it was early in the morning, and they were in New York, and it was a very, very broad street. I think some of you have been in New York. You know these streets are sometimes, it seems to be 50 meters broad. So to help passengers to cross the street, the state has made something like traffic lights, because when you go, it helps to stop the traffic, and it gives you the sign when you can go. So, but early in the morning at 4 o'clock, in the old times, everyone used to sleep. Nowadays, people don't sleep. They are very much awake. So Bhujan was wondering, what if Prabhupada, now if we come to a traffic light, the street is absolutely clear, there is no need for a car to, there's no need to stop, but the traffic light shows red. What will Prabhupada do? Prabhupada went with everyone to the street. He looked, he saw it was red, he looked left and right. And he, of course, walked over the street when it was red, because it were different circumstances. He acted against the authority of the state. Wow! Could there be situations in life where there is red, but the circumstances require green from you? At that time you need to make a decision. I say this much, you can put a lot of subjects into this, but I feel it is very important to know when to make decisions, and sometimes say green when the whole world says red. Therefore, you need to know what is your center, what is your supreme value. And for devotees of God, it is the Lord. Good. So now comes the next question. Oh, sorry, I see you there, but I should say, I did not do a social network, or what is it called, internet preaching for 1 month. I fasted for 1 month. Now I'm totally bewildered, and Govinda, you should tell me, because I never look at the cameras. I need to look at the cameras and simultaneously at you somehow. So next question.
The next question is from Radha Kripa. Radha Kripa, would you like to ask your question?
Yes. I do not. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Haribol. Haribol. Thank you so much for everything. So I can only hope that I'm asking a question that might be relevant also for others, and it's the question that somehow connects what you spoke about this morning and what you spoke now. So what you said, our life is the result of our decisions. I can only assume that our decisions are ultimately the result of our desires. So what if we had certain desires based on our inner world and the support of the devotees? So we didn't just follow just blindly authority or so. We had desires on how to live our lives to support our spiritual progress. But after some years, we find ourselves living a life of compromise. And in our view, it seems that the external circumstances didn't allow us to follow our desires. There were obstacles that were unsurmountable, and now we are where we are in the land of compromise and not content. My question is that completely our responsibility? Or is it partially our karma, which Krishna is using to teach us the lessons that are necessary for our detachment from material energy and how to mend the situation? What can we do now? Thank you.
My face was concentrated because one really has to pay attention to the sound in order to catch it. It is 99% perfect, but 1% imperfect. So, yes, what if let me, please give me a chance to reformulate your question to see if I have really understood it, and if I have left something out, please do correct me, because we want to have the correct questions. I think you asked the question, what if as a result of our decisions we find ourselves in a place of compromise and comfort, and we are not satisfied to stay there? Did we make those decisions out of our karma, or out of what? Did I catch everything from the question? Because the sound was not so clear for me. Yes, is it good? I see. What? You're muted. What a scandal. Maybe you.
Okay, yeah.
Have you unmuted yourself? Or?
No. The Ekanti has to do it, but yeah. So yeah, generally is that, but what I'm asking, is it Krishna using
your gestures? They are extremely impressive.
You got the point. You got definitely the point. I'm also asking, because I'm always asking how much it is my responsibility, how much I messed it up, and how much I can fix, and how much it is my karma that Krishna is purposefully using to make me disillusioned about this world and to tell me how I forget about your plans or your yeah.
Easy question, Radha Kripa. Yes, what made us make our decisions? It's our desires? Is it Krishna who used our karma? Did we have to learn something? What is about the world and all the influences of the world? Radha Kripa, there are two approaches in helping someone in coaching. You will see, I will answer your question, but I want to help us to look at this from the mega perspective. One is the more Freudian approach, where we look in the past. What happened? What has this person experienced in his childhood, or when he was growing up, and what has influenced his decisions and so on. And there is another approach. Maybe I'm not fair to Sigmund Freud. I'm really simplifying it. And there's another approach to look at a person's possibilities that he has now. Now it is very interesting that in the Bhakti perspective, we know that at any given moment one can turn to Krishna. It really only takes something as simple as going before the altar and praying. There was a book out, Eat, Sleep and Pray, I think it was called, and it was a bestseller. Maybe I pray or something. And you find in the book a lady who is going one morning into the bathroom and finds herself totally compromised. She looks at herself in the mirror and thinks, what have I become? She's married to a man she doesn't love. I'm not drawing any comparisons here. I'm just talking about a book, not about anyone here. So she has a breakdown in the bathroom, and she locks the bathroom, and she begins for the first time in her life to pray. And then from there, she somehow is able to choose the life which is good. She can make a total turn about. She changes her diet and visits people, reads new books and prays and becomes enlightened in the book. Something like this, I think. I didn't read the book. I heard it was really something. Maybe 10 years ago, everyone talked about it, especially ladies, because they could sympathize with the main character. Now, something like this we find in the Bhagavatam. Vritasura, his whole life, he lived like a demon. He attacked the suras, and at the battlefield, he all of a sudden remembers, and he turns to Krishna and prays to Krishna, and he goes back to Godhead. You find also Dhritarashtra in the first canto. All his life he has plotted against the Pandavas. At the end of his life, he suddenly makes an amazing turn. He goes into the forest. He leaves the comfortable palace, and for an old man like him, he's really old. He is used to the comfort the palace gives him and the protection of Yudhishthira, and he goes to the forest and becomes enlightened. Especially in Bhakti, you have the possibility to turn every moment around. So asking what made you make the decisions that brought you where you are now is more an intellectual luxury. But if you want to change something, then you can do it. But it is much easier if you establish a culture of change around you, a culture which is supportive to you, like the flower. Sorry, I have to look here. I'm learning. Soon I've learned it. In which camera do I have to look? In this, to look at Radha Kripa. A culture is necessary. A culture that enables you to change. if you stay in a culture which is pulling you in the same direction, it is very difficult to give up. I want to give you an example. I had gone many times to Ayurvedic treatments. The goal for me to go to an Ayurvedic treatment is to remove the blockages in the body which come from ama, or undigested food, and which coat the cells, and they also plug the blood vessels and the shrotas. Shrotas is also the energy channels in the body, so that I can be more active in my service. I can be more awake in my chanting and my reading. I can be more tolerant and not so irritable by an excess of vata and so on. Now, I went to various Ayurvedic treatments in India. I used to go daily, not daily, yearly, but then with the new situation, I did not take it for 2.5 years, and I could feel how my body was becoming tired, how everywhere diseases started, how I felt very unwell, how I could not sleep in the night any longer. And I knew theoretically what to do, because I had been in the treatments, and I knew the health recommendations. Of course, I can't do the Shirodhara and the Chakrabasti and this and that and so on. But the lifestyle I know. But I needed a culture to bring me back to the healthy lifestyle, which I know is good. It's quite different than normal. It's eating very simple, stopping when you feel you had enough, not eating over this border. It is a lifestyle of getting early up, of not sleeping during the day. It requires you to take a few things like self-massage, to be very steady in your yoga practice. The more subtle Ayurveda also says you must meditate and so on, or chant meditatively and so on. And so by the help of two wonderful devotees, I was able to go to an Ayurvedic treatment, and now I find myself every day doing the things which I know I should do. I don't eat too much, I get up early, I'm very simple, I don't eat the things I shouldn't eat, and I do yoga, believe it or not, every day religiously. And I still need to integrate a few more practices, but I'm almost there. But I needed to learn this in a culture. I needed in the hospital, in an Ayurvedic hospital. I needed to not learn it. I needed to go in the culture, so that I get something like a jump start again. So in spiritual life, it is sometimes important to do this. You know what to do, just like I knew what to do. Not to, so many things not to do and so many things to do, but I just simply lacked the strength to do it. And I felt almost helpless. I felt a victim. But I have learned in life, never accept the victim role, because it's never true. It's only our mind, our weak mind, which tells us we are a victim. We are a soul, we are part of God, we are eternally full of knowledge and full of bliss. But we may need a culture that encourages us so that we can break these weak habits, I would call them, in both in thought. I think if you think in this direction, it will be more beneficial than if you try to analyze what happened in the past. It's very difficult, Radha-Kripa, to say this. Really, the mixture of what is karma, what is your free will, what is the astrological influence at a certain time, what are the influence of the environment, what is the sum total of the material influence on the soul. Whew. And where the soul is there in all of this with a little free will to decide. I think no one can say this for sure. They can give some hints, maybe some suggestions. Look here, look there, but better focus on what brings you to where you wish to come. This is my answer to you. So I will look now in the camera, and then I look in the screen to see your face. Here is the face, good. Jai Gopal, I see you also. How is your Mridanga playing? Not so practiced these days, isn't it?
Practicing yesterday and today. But it's practice like that. Yeah. No, something. Okay. You're still here.
Oh, we don't hear Guru
Tell
Maharaj.
me the answer when we meet next time. I couldn't hear. Our technology is it's not the technology. It's more the influences from the past. We didn't buy the right computer, or whatever. So, Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, our next question is from Hari Vallabhi, and it's a wonderful question. She says, what advice would you offer for those who are just becoming aware that they have wings and will be learning to fly?
For those who are just becoming aware that they have wings and that they wish to fly. I do understand this language very well. I speak the same language of poetical expression. Thank you. I will answer with a personal experience because we want to know a little bit about ourselves. See, I love Vrindavan very much. And I need Vrindavan very much. So, because of the situation of the present world situation, I couldn't come, and there was also no visa for me to go. There are visas, but I need to keep a consistent visa record for the future. So I was also fearing that this year, last year, 21, I would not be able to go to Vrindavan. And I was sure I wouldn't go, and I made already alternative plans to spend the month of Kartik. But then Shrimati Radharani, I can only see it like this, made a miracle. I got this one extremely rare visa where you can yeah, which allowed me to go, and which was consistent to my being a monk and all this. And I went to Vrindavan. And I think I have described it in one of the disciple meetings. It was really overwhelming. I came right from the airport to the Mangal Artik of Radha Shyam Sundar, and I found myself still a little bit dizzy from all this traveling. Before the deities of Radha Shyam Sundar, and somehow they invited me into darshan. It was not that I was seeing them; they were seeing me, and they made it known that they saw me, and I can only say I felt my wings, which had been almost cut from not going to, having such strong spiritual realizations, I felt them grow again, and I spent the most wonderful Kartik months in Vrindavan with many, where I received many signs and invitations from Radha and Krishna to move forward. And from that experience, I can only give you the recommendation. If you want to move on in your spiritual life, you have to watch your surrounding. We have minute strengths. The craft is not so special. But when we are together with the right people, that helps always. That's a recommendation which you can also find in modern coaching. If you want to adopt a new habit like running, go to people who run every morning, run with them, and then after some time you will also run on your own every morning. This is a simple thing. Change the people you are with. You must know one thing: when you want to make your own new decisions, people who are accustomed to the old self will oppose you. They only know you like this. And now all of a sudden you tell them, I have thought about this and I have decided to do this. What? How can you do this? The old environment will protest. The moment you make a new step, it is normal. Your body will protest, your friends will protest, your environment will protest. It's normal. So therefore, find the right environment. And environment is everything which is around the soul. Maybe you do something for your mind, that's environment. Maybe you do something for the body, that's environment. A little bit further, you have your friends and your relatives, that's environment. A little bit further, you have a place where you live or an address, that's environment. You need to slowly change your environment in responsible ways. I'm lucky to look at this camera. And then you will see miracles happening in your life. Your wings will grow, 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 grow. I could see this. I thought, see, when you're old, you're not old, but I'm so-called old. I also don't feel this, and I will become this year 10 years younger, and then the next year I will again become 10 years younger. You will see. You will see. I have some plans. So, yes, but still, some things you notice. Like when every 15 minutes is breakfast, then you know you are old. Old people forget, and old people, for them, time moves differently. So if every 15 minutes they say this in England, it's breakfast for you. You don't. You're old. so, and I thought it's difficult for me to change. Old dogs don't learn new tricks. That's what they say. But no, when I went to Vrindavan, I was very different. And I'm still thinking about it. I'm still profiting from it. I'm still, yes, meditating about the gifts which the Lord gave me. Yes. This is my long answer for a short question. Hare Krishna. So, Harisyam, is there another question?
We have many. We have many wonderful more questions online, Guru Maharaj, so you can decide when you want to switch to the questions in the temple room. This question is from Madayanti. She says, what advice do you have for someone? What is your most important instruction to someone who is at a stage in their life when there's a good chance they will soon leave their body in 5 or 10 years? What is your most important instruction for someone at this stage in their life?
The sound was absolutely clear. Madayanti, it needed you to straighten out the technique. By the way, nice to hear your good name and to see you in my mind's eye before the camera. So when someone is about to die, what is the best way for him to do? This was the question which Parikshit Maharaj, who had only 7 more days to live, asked Shukadev Goswami. And Shukadev, first of all, he just said, wonderful question. This is the best and most important question. And then he gave an answer. You can find it in more detail in the beginning of the 2nd canto. And he said one should spend his time in hearing and chanting about the all-glorious Lord. I would like to translate this now into something even more relevant. You need to help the person who is knowing in X amount of time he leaves the body to become attached to Krishna. Whatever helps the person to shift the attachments, that is good work. That is good counsel. See, when he remains attached to material life, he will become more and more anxious as his time comes closer, because he will lose everything, right? Everything materially he is attached to, he will lose at the time of death. But if he becomes attached to Krishna in that time, when he dies, he will win everything. He will win Krishna. So this is what you have to teach someone, or to help somebody with. And there is a very, very good technique or method. When you are at a deathbed of someone, how you can help them. I was knowing about it because I had talked about it in my seminars. There is no death was the seminar. It's titled "There is no death," and one of my old contacts to whom I had preached in Berlin, but we had lost contact. I was no longer in Berlin. I was traveling elsewhere, was on his deathbed. And the family called me and said, he cannot let go. He has been already 7 times in the hospital, and each time we thought he would leave, but he's so anxious, he's so disturbed at the prospect of leaving everything behind. His attachment holds him, and he's struggling and fighting. Can you help? I said, I can't help him to the concept that I should help somebody to leave his body earlier is not palatable to me, but I can help to direct his consciousness and make him attached to, or make him think about spiritual things. This I will do, and whatever happens then is up to Krishna. So I went there, and his daughter who is a doctor, received me at the entrance of the hospital. It was a normal hospital, and led me to the room of her dying father. So I was first of all making contact. Here is your friend Sachinandan Swami. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please raise your finger. He couldn't speak any longer, and the finger was getting up. He could hear me. Good. Thank you. Then now I will tell something which I always wanted to tell you. You have supported our temple in so many wonderful ways. Krishna has for sure recognized it. You have supported me in so many wonderful ways. When I needed a peaceful place to answer my bags of letters, at that time letters were there, you gave me an apartment in your villa, and I could work there. You have helped me to do my service for Krishna so much, and I'm so thankful for you. Also, I could see that you, whenever you came to the temple, you really came always with fruits for the deities. You really acted like a first-class devotee. You never came empty-handed to the temple. And I continued like this. You swept the cart of Lord Jagannath you swept the road, and I reminded him of all the spiritual activities he had done and all the benefits, all the blessings he had received from devotees, from Krishna. And then I saw he was crying. I was very happy. I had reached his heart. Then I felt we did a short kirtan, but he was really in a critical state, and the nurses were saying, please, not too long, and and it's very strenuous for him, and so on. So we left the room. So after half an hour, I get a telephone call from his daughter. Remember, she was the doctor, and she could stay with him, with her father. And she said, Swamiji, you did a miracle. My father left the body. And then she cried and cried and cried. And I said, oh, don't, and this and that. And I gave some consolation as good as I could. My father, and she said, my father could finally go, and he went with a smile. I thought, successful counseling, So you have to do the same, Marayanti, to people who are dying a physical death, but who also you need to do the same for the people who die a spiritual death, who have given up their practices, who are becoming without any... Oh, sorry. Who have no spiritual strengths any longer left in them, who are hopeless and so on. You remind them of this, that, and this went good, and then Krishna comes into their memory, and then when they know, when I leave my present state, I will win everything. Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, other questions? If there are questions here in the room, but I know it must be strange for you to see me always trying to look in the camera. I'm just not so expert at the moment, and not looking at you, and then you feel, well, second-class citizens or something. So don't feel discouraged. Any questions here in the room? Gora Hari has a question.
I'm not sure if it's a good question, but I'll make a try. You often spoke about the proper culture that will support our spiritual development. Now, it seems, what is really our culture? Because sometimes we think, okay, culture is Indian culture, dress in sari, dhoti, and all the external of Krishna consciousness. So what is actually the spiritual culture? How do we define the spiritual culture that will be supportive for us?
What is actually our culture? You spoke so often about creating a culture around you. Is it dhoti? Is it sari? Is it tilak? Is it all the way we speak? Haribol, Haribol, or nowadays Hari Hari, and Neuropean. Make it brief, and so on. So the Latin word cultura, from where I took this, is that which, actually no, it's a Sanskrit word. The Sanskrit word Sanskriti is the culture, is that which nourishes a person. I don't think your cloth nourishes you, it nourishes your ego. Look at my dhoti, I mean, this is a dhoti which you can present to the world, or look at my new bindi, that really shows my taste in life. It is external. This is it does have it has advantage. It is sattvic clothing. It should be, at least. It's meant to be like this. Now ISKCON has developed very sexy dhotis and saris and maybe I should not speak so sarcastically. Now those who don't like me will use these two words in against me, but let them do. We have developed our ISKCON style, which is just a style, really. So that doesn't nourish us. It's that with culture I meant the things which help you to think properly. Music, bhajans, music. Culture means the reading. Also with culture I mean that the way you interact with others. Best is in a loving way. That's a Gesprächskultur, we say in German. You now know Gora Hari speaks better German than me at the moment. It's these things which nourish, and I was thinking of the things which nourish the soul, not the ego. The culture, materialistic culture, nourishes often the mind and the ego, but not the soul really. And it's a pity. It helps people to just move a little bit more away from themselves, really. I think maybe there are some people who have a wise approach to fashion and use fashion nicely. You can use everything in Krishna's service, but I'm speaking now of the materialistic people. No, they are definitely more entangled in the ego. You know, you can see this when you look at the mannequins. No, the mannequins, and sometimes at the airport you see this man who has this perfume, Côte de Halava or whatever the perfume is called, you know, and and he looks really. You think, poor person who talked to you, so that you have to look like this, you know, you. What did they do to you? Isn't it? Hare Krishna. Good. So this type of it's a simple answer, really. But this is, say, the culture with which you surround yourself should remind you of Krishna. Should nourish you like this. Good. This was a question from the room. Nandi Mugi has a question. I will repeat your questions for the internet. Nandi Mugi is my very old disciple, wonderful disciple. Ooh. Yes, Nandi Mugi, what is your question?
Yeah, I will try. I also am not sure if it's appropriate, but it's maybe a little personal. Maybe you want to share with us, or I would like to ask you to share with us, how do you feel when you see us disciples making unending steps and looking for free will and maybe falling on the nose and then again standing up and so on. What do you feel? Or how do you see?
What do I feel when I see my disciples going through life, making mistakes, falling, getting up, all these things? I have changed. In the beginning, I was surprised. I was surprised when the first disciple came and said, Guru Maharaj, I think I need to marry. I thought, what? I thought I had taught everyone to be happy in brahmachari life. And I was really, it was new, you know, I was what is called a teenager guru. When a child, no, when a young girl, let us say, she's only 17 years old, and one day she comes home and says, Mommy and Papi, I'm pregnant. This happens, teenage, and then she gives birth to the child, and she comes to them, Mommy, what do I do now? She's screaming. Mommy says, like this, and keep it moving, you know, and gives all the tips which the mommy knows, you know, from experience. And but the teenage mama doesn't know anything. She's very young, very unexperienced. So I was a teenage guru. It came out of the sky, and yes, people had requested me when I was preaching if I could be their guru, and I said no. But then I remembered Prabhupada had told me I should be a guru. He told me in my face, and there was a need, and then I did it. But I needed to learn, and I can say I tried always my best, but my best was teenage best, you know. So as I grew up, as the time went by, as I learned from and watched my disciples, I could see they are very much like me, struggling to know, making mistakes. And just like I do not appreciate if someone judges me, I'm just learning, I'm learning from life and spiritual life. I should not judge the disciples. And that changed everything. The old disciples were totally surprised to see the new Satchidananda Swami. Yes, totally surprised, because I used to be this, that, do this, this. I've changed it. I think I became, so when I see people going through life, when I see also disciples going away from me or making a distance, I think maybe they need this on their spiritual path. But I will keep on praying from the distance for their welfare, no? And I will send them good wishes and so on. And I wait when I know there will be a time when they will, when this period is over. It's like the puberty. You have two daughters. You might have seen when they come into the puberty, it's always different than what you think or what you say. It is, by the way, in the very early childhood, I began to understand that also. We have a little girl, Anandini, in our community. She is now gone to join Mandali in Mayapur for better playing. So there was a time, I think she was 1.5 years or 2 years old. Everything you would come close, you would try to give her something, she would say, "No! Anandini, we know each other. No! No! I know your name, you know my name, no. No, no! Is everything no? You are a kindergarten person, but your children are maybe not that small, isn't it? You have seen that also. It comes like rebellion. Whatever it is, I'm against it. They have it in this age, and they have it when they are 40 years old. It's a human thing, And then, I don't know, you know better, you are first class children educator, but I only know to love them anyways, and to not push yourself into their life, but wait until they come with something serious again. So, like this. Simple. So I had to learn. You have to, if you are a guru, you have to sometimes do one thing and say one thing. You sometimes need to also put the borders. This is wrong. I'm not going to enter this game any longer. Come back when you are serious. You have to do that, but this is what you say with tears in your eyes. Inside you say, I wish you well. I know it is. I also had a rebellious phase in relationship to my spiritual master, and so on. I will nevertheless pray for you. Yeah. Krishna. So now, where are we? It is getting, I think, Harishyam, is it all right if we come here to an end, because time is also there?
Absolutely. So Guru Maharaj, according to the schedule, we have 7 more minutes for questions and answers, and then we have a cameras on moment where you can greet all the disciples and all the well-wishers. So if you like, we can take one more question. You can take one more question, either online or from the temple room, whatever you prefer, Guru Maharaj. I cannot hear you.
Sorry. Online.
Okay. Then we ask the question from Bhakta Matthias. He says, I wish to be more dependent on Krishna in decision making, but how can I come there naturally so that Krishna shows me the way to the right decision?
More dependent on Krishna when I make my decisions, but how can I get there naturally so that Krishna helps me to make the right decision? You know, Matthias, the Brijbasis have a very, very practical approach to spirituality. Very practical. They say that when you go around Giriraj and you pray, Giriraj will wait, if you pray for something big, if you pray like this in the next year also. So you come back the next year and say you pray like this, you want this, I want to become a pure devotee and give up an unhealthy habit, for instance. Then Giriraj will again wait if you come next year. And then when he sees you're really serious, he will give it. So Krishna will start to speak to you in your heart when he feels that your words carry meaning. Each word which you use in order to ask him is exactly how you feel, and then he will go. See, oftentimes we say, we ask for something because we feel, I should ask for this. You know, our decision, our request comes from a place which is not our own, but which is coming from others, someone else, the group, you know, and so on. You're not authentic yet. So please repeat your requests and see that they come really from yourself. I'm really sorry. I will learn tomorrow. I will only look in the camera and in the crowd. Now I mostly look on the altar, I notice. I shouldn't do this. Govinda has forbidden me. Later I can look. So this is my answer. Krishna will speak to you if your words which you use to speak to him carry the depths of your real intention. Krishna, Krishna. Before I stop, I need to say two things. I always like to make announcements in this lecture. My first announcement is, I have thought very deeply how to stay in contact with you, my disciples, and I have therefore designed a program. It's called Above the Clouds. Some of you know it already. The term above the clouds comes from Srila Prabhupada, who says sometimes we are under the clouds of Maya, but we can be also above the clouds. And in these 15 minutes podcasts, I highlight verses from the Bhagavatam, and I explain how to apply them so that you can be above the clouds. It's something which I stopped my internet activities for a month. I will again come back, but I needed to too much internet. That is not for me. So but I kept on above the clouds, and I'm intending to make it more and more interesting as we go. So I request you, if you want to stay in contact with me, please visit this program. It's every Sunday is a new episode. Only 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That's 15 push-ups. It's very brief, when you do them slow. So, then what else? Yeah, I'm very, very happy to announce that my new book, which is a book on meditation, I think it's so good, and I showed it to a few people who know about this. They say it really works. It will. I need 3 more days on it, and then it's already gone through the main editor. It's already the main English is all right. We'll just the second editor will just go for right spelling and so on. And that will come out. I think you all will like it very much. It is a total new approach in Krishna consciousness. It will help you to go from the outer to the inner world. And you will be surprised what you can find there. That is coming. And yeah, just like you, I'm looking forward to the summer, when it seems very likely that we can give programs without bad after effect. I did a few programs in London and other places. I should not say where. Extra devotee numbers came, and really everyone gets got sick again, and I really don't like this. Therefore, I requested you, please do everything that no one gets sick here. So at summer, the whole world is hoping that then it will be all right again. At least the good people in the world hope. Maybe others have other hopes, but I don't know. I don't know about these things, but yes, we hope that traveling is more possible, and I feel very inclined to this project Golokadam. And Golokadam for me means Germany and not all over the world. I somehow feel Radha Madan Mohan are very special, and the project can develop into something extraordinary if more devotees put their respective talents and energy in it. And I want to say, if any one of you, I'm sorry, I again don't look in the camera, if any one of you wants to stay maybe in the summer and assist in the project, you're welcome. I know one of the ideas which are discussed at the moment is to make a 1 week monk challenge. A new word, monk challenge. And monk or bhakta, devotee, where you can come, imagine this, and every morning get up at, 3:30, and then go for the Mangal Arati and live a total different life and get some spiritual energy back. Amazing program. And there will be a person who gives lectures, who gives guidance, who will take care that your experience is out of this world, with walks through the nature park and a total overhaul. Maybe we should also offer very healthy food so that you can become extremely energetic. Something like a renewal, spiritual renewal program. I think that is a good program. Or you could say, well, I have Brahman initiation, but I never do artics. to the deities. I want to join the altar and give and learn the art of Artik. We have Damodar Priya, who is internationally acclaimed priest trainer. She can train priests, believe it, that you become a stamped pujari in I don't know, in a certain time. And there are a lot of education and courses, but also we need devotees who do the services and so on. This would be nice to give some, to utilize this wonderful project and build it further. That's just, I want to help in this effort. And if you want to come, then I will also give lectures then we can have more association, and in some cases we can get to know each other. I know I have disciples who are very far away and who never see me and I never see them, and so on. It is a very nice idea. Yes, and also our Govardhan Retreat Center is we want to open it next Kartik. I can't believe it, but I think it will be done. You know, I believe it means I believe it, but phew, they have now 50 plus workers on the ground who finish it. It's I think it's by now 100. You know, it's really like will be finished, and so many things I could say, but my most important things are two. The book will come out, then no, three actually. Then let's stay in contact with this above the cloud. Devotees give me very nice feedback, but I think not everyone knows that there is such a program, and will be happy to know this and check it out, as you say in modern English. And the third was, yes, Golokadam. Try to see maybe in the summer to come, huh? And do some service or learn something new and become an ecstatic devotee of Krishna. Good. Then we are finished here. Let us now do, what do we do now? Harishyam knows everything. Harishyam, please guide us.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Hari Hari Bo.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for so affectionately and thought-provokingly answering these questions. I think I speak for everyone when I say that our hearts feel so connected to yours after hearing you so profoundly and deeply for this time. And also, what a wonderful suggestion to break the repetitive routine of our spiritual life by coming to Golokadam, as you were saying yesterday. Do something different to break the monotonous repetition in our life. So now, my dear devotees, we have an opportunity to greet Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj can greet us. We ask all of you to please turn on your cameras, after which there's a surprise waiting for all of us, a wonderful, beautiful surprise will come right after Guru Maharaj greets all of us. So please turn on your cameras if you feel comfortable and give Guru Maharaj a chance to look at us and exchange with us. Hare Krishna.
I'm muted.
So you have to start again. Go to the beginning again.
Oh yeah. Now I'm unmuted. So yes, Vijay Gauranga. Now we were Gangamata. Banu Nandini, I see you. And Svetlana. Hare Krishna Svetlana. How nice to see you again. And Pratik, Hari Bol. And Yetsita, Hari Bol. And Okan, Hare Krishna Okan. We can see you. Then is Vrinda Devi Dasi, who is doing something else at the moment. No, she's here. Haribo Vrinda Devi. And oh Manoram and Jai Sri Radhe. Haribol. Your faces are frozen, but Jai Sri Radhe still has her winning smile. Wonderful. Syam Hara and Ram Murari, Haribol, and Jennifer Gross, Haribol. You have to put your videos on, Prabhus. Goran, Hare Krishna. No, Gora Kriva. I see you. But you are all frozen. What? They can hear. Good. And I got your present, Gora Kripa. Then I see Gotsa, Hare Krishna, and Patita Pavan. Yes, I see everyone. Upananda and Subhangi, I saw just now, I don't see. Then Ananda Vilasini, wonderful. Very nice to see you. Hare Krishna. And from Mayapur, Haribo. That is very nice. Mitravinda and Rupanuga, same name, isn't it? After same name. Yes, seems to be. Then there is Annie Gustafsson. Yes, I know your spiritual names as well. Then there is Lalita Govinda, I think. Martin Dimitrov. Who's? Madhu Chandra, they're all around talent. And I see Manish, Haribo Manish, Krishna Murari. Where are you? In New Zealand, I think. On a motorbike, or where are you? And then is wow, you look blissful. Then is Krishna Prana, Haribol, and nice to see you in Radha Kripa and Vedanga Gopal. Then there is other Dayan and his wife, wonderful Lalita. Yes, here is now Lalita Govinda. Mandaleshwari, Hari Vallabhi, Hari Bol. Wonderful, Hari Vallabhi. Is there Gopi Gita and the whole family is there. Ramananda Gopal and Charu and I keep forgetting the small one, but he's also there. Good. Then Damayanti, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Hari Bol. Kangini is there, Ponamasi, Valentina, Hari Bol, Valentina. And who else? Dina Bandhu and Ayatakshi, wonderful. And there's Madana Manohar and Madan Mohan. Sorry, I'm getting Bhatta and Shrisha. And then, it's so nice to see also our. I keep on forgetting names. Manisha, thank you. And then Yutima is there, Hari Bol. I saw your daughter today with Hari Vyasa Dev. Yes, they were there. And then I see another devotee. And Hari Prasad. Wow. And Radha Bhakti on the empty chair. Nice. And oh, here is the transcendental family, Akuntita, and Damodar Swarup, if I'm correct, isn't it? Yes, must be. Sevanandini, wow, I did not know that it's possible for you to take part. And then there is Vivakit. Babu, you look so different, Vivakit. Are you shaved up or what? You look... yes, Hare Krishna. Then Krishna Das, Hare Krishna. And our representative from Croatia, Govinda Nandan. Very, very good. I don't know your name. Yeah, Pejokovic. That was on the ringing bell. I remember. And then is Usha's pet. No, that's something. Yes, Hare Krishna. I can't see so clearly, but then is then another Mataji is there, Radhika. Wonderful. Kunya Bihari. Hare Krishna, Kunya Bihari. And then Krishna Laya and Yoshi. Hari Bol. I'm drinking every day your tea. And Madayanti. Hare Krishna Madayanti. You look so young. 20 years younger. Hari Bol. And Bhavini is also there. Hare Krishna Bhavini. We visited Bhavini very recently. We were in the new apartment. You can see the river from the apartment. It is a beautiful gift of Krishna. And then we see our Leela Purushottama, Hare Krishna, who survived another surgery. Wow, so many. This is Krishna Ragini is there, Nandini, and Anandini, Hari Bol, no, nice to see you. And the wife of Hari Shyam, Sahana, Hare Krishna, I can see you. And a whole Mayapur group. Syama Chandra, Syamananda. No, who's this from? Syamananda, yeah. Vrindavan Chandra, a whole group. And who is there? This is a brahmachari also. Have you taken sannyas, Syamananda? Or on the left side? Krishna Prema Rupa. Hare Krishna. Krishna Prema Rupa. Very nice. Vrindavan Bihari, wonderful. Wow, the Syamananda, Vrindavan Chanta, Krishna Premananda. Very nice. Also our Rati Manjari must be also there. Yes, I see at the side. Thank you. Then Dina Bandhu is there. Very Bhakta, Bhakta something. Then Krishna Ragini, I have seen already. Go Krishna, maybe you can comment here. Then Diksha is there. Hare Krishna Diksha from Delhi. Wonderful to see you. And Simanti is also there from Persia. Yes, Hare Krishna. Badasetu, you look younger. Haribol, nice. Prananath, the whole family, and Divya Radhika, and who's the Dhruva, Haribol Dhruva. Oh, so I must look here. Yes, Haribol Dhruva. Nice. Aida is there with us. Pranaya, Keli is there. Wonderful. Vijay. We saw you also. Rupa Manjari and your son. Very good. Ananta Gauranga. Where is Ananta Gauranga? There. Haribo Ananta Gauranga. We missed you in Europe. Are you in Europe already or just now coming? Yes, you can. Sorry, we cannot talk. I understand. Tapaswini is there, wonderful Tapaswini. Samite is there. Mani Manjari, Hare Krishna. Mani Manjari in Radhakund, no? Where is Mani Manjari? Croatia. Oh yes, Hare Krishna. Then Davo and Iris, yes, Hare Krishna. James, Haribol, James, we are seeing you. You need to come and visit us. Malini Priya is there. Bhagavati from your ashram. Wonderful to see you. It must be cold. We see you covered with layers of cloth. Rukmini is here. Hare Krishna Rukmini. Nice to see you. Yes. Rudy. Haribol Rudy. Nice to see you as well. Elena is there. Then Satya Govinda. Hare Krishna. Very nice. And our Sid, no? This is our Sid. Yes, Siddhartha. Haribo, we lost Siddhartha for a moment. Where?
Just there.
Oh, yes, now I see you again, Siddhartha. Very nice. Yeah, you need to make some decisions, I know. Then the pictures jump at the moment. Where do we go? Galaxy? No. Madhavananda. Haribo Madhavananda. And Siddha Yogini, yes. Sudarshan is there. Oh, Sudarshan, I was thinking today of you. Really, I was thinking, hopefully you have enough warm clothes, I was thinking. And Dina Dayal, Hare Krishna. Well, Dina Dayal, the whole family, Ramani, it's you. And yes, our brave warrior. And then Madhva Muni with everyone. Oh, Haribo. This is very nice. I can see everyone. Vanamali, I can see. Sriji, I can see. Everyone. Wow, Vanamali, you are there. Yes. Haribo. Jayadev. You look so young. Hare Krishna. And healthy, young and healthy and happy. Dvija Nayaka, Hare Krishna Dvija Nayaka. Nice to see you. And one very nice devotee, yes, and Aditya Narayan, Haribol. Where is your wife? Yes, good. I understand. Rameshwari, very good. Rameshwari, good to see you. Adya is there. And most photogenic Sadashiva, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Adya, yes. What? Vrindavan Priya is also there. Hare Krishna Vrindavan Priya. Milomir. Was it Milomir? It's not Milomir, I know. Murari Chaitanya with a good voice. And Sukumari is there, yes. Oh yeah, Murari Chaitanya, I can see you now. Hare Krishna. I must tell you about Murari Chaitanya. He has a very loud band who makes music at Exit, and he has the loudest voice, more than 20 elephants, so loud. Yes. Yes, our Sukumari is there. Then Jai Radhika, Shri Radhika, Hare Krishna, Shri Radhika. From Vrindavan, no? Or Dubai? Well, we can't speak, unfortunately. The main thing is I see you. Vrindavan, good. Yes. Vrindavan, yes. You should always keep this sign emblazed on your heart. The best place to be. And then, Shyama Priya, Haribol Shyama Priya, nice to see you. Again, we see our Okan, our
Balakrishna, you slipped.
Balkrishna. Ah, Balkrishna from New York. Yes, I know. Devi Kumari. Haribo. Where's Radhika Das? On the moon. Yes. Wonderful. Radhika Das. Radhika Ranjan. Very nice. I hope you got my book, which I sent you. And Raj Gopal is also somewhere. Yes. Then Natalie is there. Then Govinda Priya. Wonderful Govinda Priya. Govinda Priya. Mathurananda. Yes, the family from Split. Yes. Mandaleshwari, you are everywhere, Mandaleshwari. Very nice. In the Jamuna Swami? No. Sudhira Nitai, I'm sorry. Yes. This is two nice devotees. Ananda Mohini is there. Ananda Mohini from New Zealand, isn't it? Yes. Ananda Mohini, we need you definitely for next Vyasa puja because we're starving for your music. Sudhira Nitai. Hari Priya, where? Oh yes, Hari Priya, yes, I can see. Hari Bol, Hari Priya. Ananda Chaitanya, where are you, Ananda Chaitanya? Please wave your hand. There, he's there, good. Manisha. Wow. Amrita Ganga. iPhone Rita. Rangini, where's Rangini? iPhone, yes. Here, yes. Hare Krishna. I see with your hand, I can see. Yes, Hare Krishna. And then there are so many other devotees. I'm getting dizzy. Let me just. I think an old man is. No, I'm not old. I'm 20 years younger. We went almost through all. If I forgot some of you, please don't. Please. Yes, you know we need to come together in presence. But thank you for showing yourself on the video. Hare Krishna. So, what should we do now?
Now we have a surprise video for all the devotees. And if we just watch our screen, it will play in just a few moments.
Thank you very, very much. It is overwhelming to interact with so many of you and really hope that everything goes well for you in your life. Tomorrow is a day where I request all of you to really take shelter at Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. Just pray to him and something wonderful will happen. I will now stop talking because I know there's something which is prepared and Namaste Girirajaya Shighovadana Namine Ashesha Kleshanashaya Paramananda Dayine. offer my respectful obeisances unto the King of Mountains, whose name is Govardhan. He destroys unlimited miseries and bestows the highest bliss. Gopanam Savaraksakam Namaste Devarupaya Devanam Sukadaine. O Govardhan, obeisances unto you, who acts as the complete protector of cowherds, who manifests the godly form, and who gives pleasure to the gods. Nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhan tvam. O Govardhan, please give me permanent residence near you. Thank you. I had requested this devotee, Devashika Prabhu, to make a movie about Govardhan. He's really artistic, isn't it? You can see he knows how to capture impressions and a certain mood. And wow, I will definitely get in contact with him and thank him. There's a lot of work to make such a small little movie, and I heard about that it was finished, and we'll put it on my new web page, on the web page, but I think we have made something new there, and you can watch it again. It's very meditative. Hare Krishna, thank you. Hari Shyam, are you there?
Yes, Gurmaj.
Yes. How did you like the movie?
Very transportive. We are no longer in Lake Michigan, America. We are in Govardhan. Very transportive. So again, Guru Maharaj, thank you so much for this evening lecture and the questions and answers and everything. So my dear devotees, we now have the Adivas ceremony of Lord Nityananda, and I believe we will have some kirtan in the temple room during the Adivas. So as the devotees prepare the kirtan, we can already begin to focus our consciousness on welcoming Lord Nityananda, preparing ourselves for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, Guru Maharaj will be giving a class on empowerment from Lord Nityananda. And then we have, of course, more events and classes planned tomorrow. So now let us prepare our consciousness, our hearts, to welcome Lord Nityananda. Thank you again, Guru Maharaj. Thank you, dear devotees.
May I give a short introduction to what we are going to do right now? We are having the Adivas ceremony, which is a welcome ceremony for Lord Nityananda. That means we are going to offer 26 very nice items came from Mother Bhumi. So all these items come from Mother Bhumi. They are valuable stones, gold, silver, all kinds of other items, fruits, and holy puja grass, water, and so many more items, all very nice items, which we are going to come here, show to Mother Bhumi, offer to Lord Nityananda, and give the Mahaprasad to the representative of all the devotees, Srimati Tulsi Devi. This we do in the name of everybody. So the pujaris will come and do this in the name of all the devotees. But in your mind, you can also follow and offer all these interesting items to Lord Nityananda. This is a very traditional ceremony, one day before the appearance of the Lord. So today we do this for Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna.